Your Honor, opposing counsel, members of the jury, may it please the court. Out of control. That is how one can describe the events of August 30th, 2012 at Rock-Der-World Amusement Park in Midlands. On that day, Rock-Der-World was robbed at knife point by Cameron Poole. Now, in order to understand the events of that day, we have to back up to the beginning of that summer. It will be revealed in trial today that Whit Bowman was an employee of Rock-Der-World. He worked there for 2 summers. And prior to his second summer there, he recommended that his old friend from high school, Cameron Poole, come and work at the park as well. Now, Rock-Der-World is not exactly known for its working conditions. They have low wages, and the ride quality is poor. And Cameron Poole quickly became disgruntled with this quality of work. And in order to get back at the park, he created a scheme in which he skimmed money away from the ticket sales as he worked at the ticket booth. Now, eventually, the park's administration caught on to this plan of his, and they confronted him about it, and they released him from his job. And at that point, Cameron Poole decided to take matters into his own hand. He came back to the park that day, and he held the park's accountant at knife point demanding money. And then he ran to escape through a ride called the Tunnel of Terror, and this ride has an employee access door in it. Now, Whit Bowman was operating that ride at the time, and as Cameron Poole was escaping, the security officer of the park, Winston Thomas, was chasing him, and he fired a shot at Cameron Poole. And in the chaos of the moment, when everything was going out of control, Whit Bowman made a mistake and hit the wrong button. Now, Cameron Poole is not here today to be held on trial for his crimes, and the prosecution is charging Whit Bowman with them. They hold the burden of proof in today's case. They must show beyond a reasonable doubt that Whit Bowman is guilty of 2 counts of robbery in the first degree and 1 count of theft by deception. Now, Whit Bowman admits that he was involved in the ticket booth scheme, and he is conceding theft by deception. However, the prosecution must still prove beyond a reasonable doubt all of the elements of robbery in the first degree. They must prove that there was the use of force, that there was an intent to commit robbery, and third, that there was injury caused, that there was the use of a deadly weapon, or that there was the threat of a dangerous instrument. Now, they're going to try to convict Whit Bowman using complicity. Now, this is the intent to promote or facilitate another's crime. And the key in this is intent, that is conscious objective. But however, prosecution will not be able to meet this burden today. They will not be able to show that Whit Bowman was complicit in Cameron Poole's crime. In fact, the evidence in today's case will show that Whit Bowman was simply in the wrong place in the wrong time. Now, as the defense, we hold no burden of proof. However, we are still going to call 3 witnesses before you. First, we're going to call Charlie Kaminsky. And Miss Kaminsky is a limo driver that was a park regular and was actually at Rock-Der-World the day of the robbery. She also was hired by Cameron Poole that night to help him escape. And during that car ride, she heard some interesting phone conversations that shed some light onto the robbery. Next, we're going to call Jackie Hunter. Miss Hunter is a former employee of Rock-Der-World that can attest to the ride quality at Rock-Der-World and how easy it would be for a ride to malfunction. And finally, we are going to call Mr. Whit Bowman. And he is going to explain the events of the summer of 2012 to you and how everything was out of control on August 30th, 2012. At the end of today's trial, my co-counsel, Holly Patrick, will come before you, and she will explain how the prosecution has not met their burden. And she will ask that you find Whit Bowman not guilty. Thank you.